As I sit here right now, I think I have multiple trials that'll be going that week. But since they're all obviously criminal cases, I can get coverage if I end up with too many trials or hearings and not enough days. So we will set the stand your ground hearing for July 11th.
Judges, it's my hope that you would be the one presiding over this, because those facts may lead, if you deny the motion, those rulings may be important for the trial.
Understood, and I mean, it's my intent to be there too. I'm just saying that I do have, as I sit here right now, at least 3 other cases. I have not called them this morning. I don't know what's going to happen, but right now I have 3 other cases that potentially are going to trial that week. Plus, I have an all-day hearing on Thursday, July 10th, on a capital case. There are about 30 motions that have been filed. So it's an all-day motion hearing. So I don't know how things are going to shake out. I'm just...
Understood.
Whoever is on the bench on July 11th will be presiding over the hearing.
Okay.
It would not be grounds for a continuance if it's someone other than me.
I understand.
Okay. But it is, the only reason somebody else would be covering is I will be in trial elsewhere. It is my intent to cover all of my cases. I just can't be in 2 places at once if I end up having more trials than days.
That's fine.
Okay? I intend to be
So
here on
July
July
11th.
11th unless I'm in trial elsewhere. So, okay. That's, do we need to start at 8:30 or 9? Typically I start at 9. The only reason I would say 8:30 is if there is any question of whether we're going to finish on time. So that we're not here, late.
I think let's get started at 9. I'm sure Ms. Sandler and I will be here at 8:30, making sure all the technology works, because there's going to be some videos and things like that. You good with that?
I am, and Your Honor, I usually schedule a tech test with IT the day before, just to make sure everything works.
Okay. So, Mr. Patel, could you please do a notice of hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, July 11th, 9 o'clock. And, sir, we'll see you then, okay? All right.
I think that's everything I have.
Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor, I have a hearing with you at 10 o'clock, but I have to go appear before Judge Stone. I will be back as soon as I can.
That sounds great. I have multiple other things that I need to take care of this morning, including I have a motion to suppress that's before yours, so don't worry. We'll
Thank you, Your Honor.
see you when you get here.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. All right, Mr. Dyram.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Would you like to take Mr. Kennedy first, and it's not on the docket?
Just one second. Well, we have a plea for Mr. Georges, right? Correct?
Your Honor, Mr. Georges is present. Him and I met the other day, actually yesterday, went through the plea agreement, discussed everything in length. He is still wanting to review the terms and conditions because he is unsure of the sex offender status. He has a daughter. There's a lot of issues that he is concerned about complying with. He would like some additional time to consider the state's amended offer. The state has made an offer of 15 years sex offender probation with a GPS monitor. My advice to him is to accept the plea. He is wanting some additional time for him and I to sit down and review everything else before he decides to either go to trial or accept this deal.
When was the offer made?
Thursday of last week.
Actually, a probation offer has been on the table for quite a while. I think the number was actually given to you on, could have been Thursday, but
If it was, I apologize.
a non-DOC offer has been on the table for quite a while. I will revoke that because it's,
If it was on the table, that is my fault because my understanding, I thought it was a guideline score. So if there was a probation offer, I do apologize that it was not conveyed to him prior. because I thought it was a guideline score.
Let me check my notes.
Because I don't think there was an offer sheet in it.
No, there's no offer sheet. I usually talk to you about that.
My
So,
apologies.
because of the nature of the cases. He does have plenty for me to go forward on. And please advise your client that if we do go forward to trial, the statute says shall enhance, and I will enhance them.
Understood. They will go from third degree felonies to second degree felonies.
So, since I've been on the case, which was January 1st, we had a hearing on February 10th. That was pretrial. It was set for the following week. That was February 17th.
And I believe in between now and then, I met with Investigator Evans, and that took some time to schedule, so that was kind of a delay as well, Your Honor.
Okay, so February 17th was supposed to be plea or continue. It turned out to be continue, so we set it for April 14th. On April 14th, it was set for the following week, docket day, plea or continue. That was April 21st. On April 21st, there was a continuance again. And then that was continued to June 9th, which was last week.
And that's when I received the amended offer for 15 years, and we did meet yesterday for about an hour and a half to discuss everything.
Okay, so then it was set on Monday, June 16th. So it was the June 9th, then we set it for June 16th, which was this previous Monday.
Correct, Your Honor.
So on that day, on Monday, it was set for today for a plea. So what is happening is we keep setting court dates, multiple court dates, and then we just keep postponing.
And Your Honor, I'm not trying to clog
Okay.
up the court's docket. I understand you were trying to move this very fast and efficiently, so I do apologize. I have laid out the options for Mr. Georges, and he's informed me that he would like additional time to consider this plea agreement. I understand the state's position that they will revoke the offer.
Understood? So the arrest date is April 28th, 2024. So now we're at 14 months. 14 months post-arrest. I understand, I have notes on some of the reasons that the case has been prolonged. I'm aware of that. But it's time to reach a resolution, whatever that might be. So here's what I need to know from the state. When will you be ready to go to trial? When can you have your witnesses available?
Literally a 1 or 2 witness trial. So I could, I
Could
mean,
you be ready
hypothetically, I could do it.
next week?
Not next week, no, sorry.
Okay.
I do need more than that. But I could do it this cycle, but next cycle definitely, as a definite set, we can do it. Because I
Okay.
think your week of 7 July is pretty full right now, ma'am.
As of this moment, it is. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going to happen in a few minutes whenever I call those cases. Could you potentially be ready the week of July 7th?
If my witness is available. It's the same witness I need for the trial I do have set right now,
Okay,
so.
so which one do you have that's already on my,
I have Mr. Dixon, ma'am.
Oh,
That's with
okay.
Mr. Medina. I believe that's a one-day trial, as would this one be.
okay.
Exclusive of jury selection, it would be a one-day trial.
So Mr. Dyram, what I'm going to ask for you and your client to do for the moment is to remain with us. I'm going to do my jury review. I'm going to see what all I have going the week of the 7th. And if we have Well, Ms. Basso, when would you be able to find out about your witness?
I can reach out. Actually, I texted a moment ago and said, which days were you not? I know there's a day he's not available that week, so I wanted to verify that before we started sorting everybody out, so.
Okay, thank you.
We had not discussed this case, but it's a child pornography. It's not
Okay,
a hard case.
so once I figure out what's going to happen with the other trials, then Mr. Dyer, I'm going to call you and your client back up, and we'll figure out when to set the next court date. So I'm just going to pause your hearing for the moment.
Understood, and if I can just put on the record, the state will revoke the offer today if it's not accepted, is that correct? Anything also?
Yes, sir.
Let's put the offer on the record. I think you might have done that, but I want to make sure that I write it down, and then I want to ask Mr. Georges about it.
Ma'am, it would, are we on?
Oh, would you
Crestview
like?
TV?
Probably.
Ma'am, if there's an offer going to be put on the record, there's a potential jury pool out there. We would prefer that they not hear
Okay.
anything that's being negotiated.
Would you like to approach?
We can do that if that's
Okay.
easier, yes.
Defendant as well.
9.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briarpatch Realty. Helping qualifying heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
Man, I got this. Let's roll.
Fight fire with fire, take one.
Have you been injured in an accident and need righteous representation? Call us, because we fight fire. Damn thing ain't working. Whoa! Not cool, bro.
I'm attorney Coy Browning. Personal injury is no joke. Just ask him.
Injured? Take a breath. Call Coy.
We're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just one block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Dyram, what I'm going to do is recall Mr. George's case in a little while.
Okay.
I know you have to take care of something in a different courtroom.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, I'm going to see how my other trials shake out and see what's actually going. And then we'll recall the case and we'll figure out when this case can go.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor. Would you like me to address?
Yes, we can address Mr. Kennedy's case as well. This is
Mr. Kennedy?
Fabian Kennedy, 24 CF 897, to my division prosecutors, Mr. Kennedy's case is not on today's docket. He was on Monday's docket, June 9th, and was not present. I issued a capias. He is present now. So there's been a request to withdraw the capias. That was earlier this morning. I said, we'll need to recall the case when my division prosecutors are here, and I cannot remember right now which prosecutor's assigned.
The assigned prosecutor is Jessica Jardina.
Okay.
But Cody Sprouse on behalf.
Okay.
We would object to recalling the capias at this time.
Okay. I will let Mr. Dyram go ahead and put his reasons for his request on the record, and then we're going to figure out what to do.
Your Honor, Mr. Kennedy is 20 years old? 21. He is from Jamaica. He just got married. His immigration status is a student here. He was originally here to play basketball. Is that right?
Yeah,
you moved to?
I'm going to go to Xavier University this fall.
So he moved here to play basketball in St. Augustine, and unfortunately he was not able to go to school and work to support himself, so he had to move here to work. And that's when he ended up getting these charges. He moved to he went to Miami, and that was the reason for the failure to appear. He was working there.
So I went to Miami to help my wife out there. So because she and her family, she doesn't really have support. So lately I've been helping people with their credit, so they be helping me on the back end. So I'll be supporting my wife. We just got married a few weeks ago. However, I'm preparing myself while just staying out of trouble, everything. As you can see, I'm just working my way up to go to university this fall. So I'm just...
And Judge, the state has made a PTI offer with plea. I just recently learned that if Mr. Kennedy accepts that, he might be adjudicated guilty for the status purpose if he tries to become a citizen. That would potentially exclude him from becoming a citizen if he accepts a PTI with a plea.
Okay.
And there's a possibility I may discuss with the state to see if they would consider doing a PTI with all misdemeanors. If I could discuss with his immigration lawyer the difference between a PTI with felonies as opposed to a PTI with misdemeanors in a plea, it might make a difference as far as his status.
So I was wrong. The case was on June 9th, and it was reset for June 16th, this past Monday.
Right.
Yes, and that's the day that Mr. Kennedy did not appear, and I issued a no bond capias.
Correct.
So. He was set for plea or trial on the 16th, this past Monday. And I have notes that indicate this should be a plea to PTI. I understand there's an issue. I will state that on February 17th, April 21st, and May 20th, on those 3 dates, there was an announcement by the court of no more continuances, resolve this cycle. So I need to know, is the state ready to go to trial?
The state's ready to go to trial. I believe that there are enough witnesses and enough charges, frankly, that we'll be able to go to trial on at least one of these counts, one of the felony counts.
Is there any way that you could check on witness availability for next week, or is next week just too soon?
I could have the attorney that's assigned, I could email her right now and see what the plan is, but that would just take a few moments.
Okay.
But as of right now, we would object to the capias. Mr. Kennedy knew that he was supposed to be in court, knew that it was plea or trial, and decided to stay in Miami. Granted, for a reason, but court outweighs the reason, especially with the serious charges before us.
All right, so
Your Honor, I would not expect this to be a trial.
Okay?
If the state's offering a PTI with a plea, I mean, I would advise him to take that as opposed to go into a jury trial on a felony case where there's a potential he may go to prison. He's 21 years old. My only concern is that he may not become a citizen. He just got married. But if he can remain in the country, I think that's the main thing. I know
That
we
is
can't.
not my problem.
I understand that, Your Honor, but I'm trying to.
I mean,
I understand.
his immigration status has zero relevance
Understood.
in this case to me in setting his case for trial, or whether he needs more time to look at a plea. I'm sorry. This case, Mr. Kennedy was arrested on April 17th, 2024 on 3 different occasions. I've only been on the case since January 1st. February 17th, April 21st, and May 20th. I'd said no more continuances. I granted 2 continuances, even though I'd said no more continuances during that time. This case has been continued 5 times. There's 2 months in between court dates. So
If I can just tell
this
the court.
has to be resolved
Understood, Your Honor.
this cycle. So that's why I need to know about availability of state's witnesses. When will the state be ready to go? Because we're going to try the case. We're going to try the case, or else Mr. Kennedy can explore his other options, but there are no more continuances.
Understood, Your Honor. I believe that.
Absolutely.
As of right now, the PTI offer is still open. I did speak with Ms. Jardina about the offer being open. I didn't talk to her about availability of witnesses for trial, however,
Could
my
you reach
previous
out to her?
statements. Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do with Mr. Kennedy is we're going to do the same thing with Mr. Kennedy that we just did with your other client. I'm going to ask Mr. Kennedy to remain with us. The capias is not withdrawn right now. I'm going to ask him to remain with us. We're going to see what other trials I have going the week of July 7th. Meanwhile, Mr. Sprouse will reach out to the assigned prosecutor to see if she can check on witness availability for trial that week. And then we're going to get the case resolved.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, sure, Mr. Kennedy, just bear with us for a while longer. This morning, you still have an active capias. So,
Your Honor, I will go to Judge Stone's courtroom and then I will be right back.
thank you. Thank you. All right, Ms. Chinchar would be next. That's 24 CF 423. And Mr. Harper.
Yes, Your Honor. Rudy Harper on behalf of Ms. Chinchar. She is present before the court on 24 CF, sorry. 423. Judge, I've conveyed the state's current offer. My client's advised that she's not inclined to accept that. The court did allow us this opportunity to possibly enter a plea, but she's declining that at this point. And so at this point, I believe we're ready for trial.
Okay. And let me check with the state. Mr. Sprouse?
State's ready for trial.
Okay.
We have availability on the 27th,
Okay.
on the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Okay, so the 27th, meaning next Friday?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, that's good.
Ma'am, I think you might have motion hearings that morning.
Oh, yes.
That's just what our availability is.
Okay.
Just point that out.
Any other day next week?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, What were the available dates for the week of the 7th?
7, 8, and 9, Your Honor.
I have no conflicts for those dates, Judge.
I'm sorry?
I have no conflicts for those dates.
And do we think it will be more than just one day?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do is ask you to bear with us. I have 2 cases of Mr. Medina that I need to see how those are going to proceed, and we're going to set Ms. Chinchar on either the 8th or the 9th, depending on Mr. Medina's cases. So, ma'am, I'll recall you in just a few minutes, okay?
And,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor, just for the record, I wanted to put that the offer is revoked.
Okay, and let's put that offer on the table. I cannot recall if we did that on the 16th or not.
We did put it on the 16th?
We did.
Okay, we did, and it was extended till today, that's
Yes,
right.
That is correct.
Okay. So, ma'am, if you'll just stay with us, we're going to get a trial date for you. I just need to see about a couple of other cases, okay? Thank you. I'll recall you in just a few minutes. All right, Mr. Medina?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, which one do you want to call first? We have 2.
Mr. Dixon's here with his mother, and she's had a sister in hospice, so could I go with her for her son, Jeremy Dixon, my client?
Yes. That is case 22 CF 2061.
And may I just have a moment, Your Honor? She just walked in.
It's okay.
May I?
Sure. Oh, yes.
Dixon. I, as defense counsel, am ready for trial. Mr. Dixon has informed me that he has an appointment with a private lawyer and is asking to seek a continuance. I'm not able to do anything other than to relay what he is telling me. And I also indicated to him that the state would probably be withdrawing any offer, but I'm not sure where we are on that kind of an issue. But this is not anything I knew about. I know that many months ago there were efforts to get a private lawyer. I don't know if they fell through or what, but I'm just relaying what he's telling me. But defense counsel, meaning me at this moment, is ready for trial.
All right, so let me ask this. Ms. Basso, I believe you put the offer on the table, or on the record rather.
We did, ma'am.
Recently.
Yes, ma'am. And we also, out of a courtesy to Mr. Medina, we were going to leave that open till today, so that if he did have an opportunity and wished to speak any more with his client, we had left that as a courtesy. But it would generally, then it would expire today if he chose to go to trial.
I do have notes on that, and Mr. Dixon, let me swear you in. If you'll just raise your right hand, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do. I do. Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. According to my notes on Monday, June 16th, Ms. Basso put their offer on the record for you. Did you understand the offer that was made?
I never received the offer or anything from the state attorney's office.
Were you not present on June 16th on Monday?
Yes, ma'am, I was present. I didn't.
Did she not announce the offer then?
I did, ma'am. And I believe Mr. Dixon acknowledged it, I believe. I'm not going to speak for him, but I believe it was acknowledged at the time.
Sir, do you remember Ms. Basso putting the terms of the offer on the record and saying them out loud?
I faintly do. I don't
Okay.
remember exactly word for word of it.
Okay.
Could we approach Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We were
Could-
saying
with Mr.
concerns
Nixon?
before.
So when are the state's witnesses available for trial?
Ma'am, I did check, and the date that we would like to avoid would be the Thursday, the 10th.
You want to avoid that?
We would like to avoid that day, ma'am, because the witness that I need, one of the witnesses is otherwise tied up.
Just for the record, can you inform the court which witness that is?
That's Investigator Evans.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's critical state's witness.
Yeah, that would be a critical witness for us.
Okay, so that leaves us with July 8th or 9th, but just to be clear, are you and your witnesses available any next week?
No, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay. So that leaves us with July 8th or July 9th. Both of those days work?
Request. I'm sorry, I know the defendant had made a request for an opportunity to get private counsel. I didn't know if that had been addressed or not.
Well, is the state available for trial on July 8th or 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
If that's what the court chooses, yes. We can do that.
So, sir, you're free to hire whatever lawyer you want, but that does not entitle you to a continuance automatically. So if you decide to hire a lawyer, let me put on the record that this case has been pending for nearly 3 years. The arrest date is August 9th, 2022. So in August, this case will be 3 years old, and there have been many opportunities for the case to be resolved, or to go to trial, or for you to hire whichever lawyer you wish. It is time to resolve the case. So if you do decide to hire a private attorney, that attorney needs to be informed that they should be ready to go to trial on, jury selection is July 7th. And then regarding the 8th or the 9th, I'm not sure, but it's going to be one of those days. I guess I'll need to see about Mr. Medina's other case.
I think that one's going to go away, Judge.
Oh, okay. All right, so Ms. Basso,
If I have a preference, I'll take the 8th, ma'am, because I have depots on the 9th, but
okay.
If that messes up Mr. Sprouse or anybody else, I can do either day.
So we basically pick on the 7th, try on the 8th.
Correct.
So his potential private lawyer would need to be able to pick the jury on July 7th. Would there be any additional possibility? I don't know what the court schedule or Ms. Basso's is, but is there any way we could do a status conference next week or something like that where we, prior to July 7th, if there was a private lawyer that we'd know it a little bit before that, because for me to get fully mobilized for trial and then have a last minute private lawyer, it's not terribly convenient. But I'm not saying that has to be a big factor, but sometimes it's beneficial to have
And I can make myself available if Madam Judge would like us to do that.
And one reason it's just on the record is that I have on my notes, on my file, a notation. This is basically the 1-year anniversary. On June 17th, 2024, I wrote a docket day private lawyer. So there was going to be a private lawyer a year ago. So I'm just concerned.
Sure, I understand, Mr. Medina. That's why we can make ourselves available if the court needs to do a status conference next week. I know we're already in court, not to take your pretrial detention time, but that I know we would most likely already all be present for that if the court wishes to do that. Is that Thursday too late, though, Mr. Medina?
Oh no, I mean I am that it's no matter what, I'll be ready for trial. It's just I just think it's appropriate because it also takes court time. It takes money to the taxpayers of Okaloosa County to get a jury in here, to get a veneer in here, and so forth. So there are many reasons why we don't want to get fully mobilized unless it's for sure going. Yeah.
And actually, we do have, we have another week after that. So you would have enough time for everything too.
I'm fine no matter what.
Okay, so then we will, all right, the trial is set. Jury selection is July 7th. The trial date will be July 8th.
Ma'am, actually, I was speaking with Mr. Sprouse. Could we flip to the 9th so
Sure.
that he can have the 8th?
Sure, July 9th.
If that, Mr. Medina, does that mess you up?
No, ma'am.
All right, then I'll just move my depots and have someone cover them, and I think that way we can get everybody in.
So July 9 trial day.
Correct.
Okay.
So jury selection is July 7th. Be here at 8:30 for that. We will plan on trying the case on July 9th. And I will set a status, and that will be immediately after pretrial detention hearings next Thursday. That's June 26th.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pretrial detentions are at 12:30. I already have something else set right after that. It's a plea in another case, but I will set this for a status. It'll be after pretrial detention.
So I'm going to put, is it okay if I put 1 p.m. or should I say 12:30 p.m. on his announcement, his next court date?
Let's put 12:30 in
Okay.
the event.
Just in case we don't have any pretrial detentions, we never know.
Correct.
Okay.
So
that's
that'll be
June 26, 12:30 p.m. Private counsel hopefully will be here if that's going to be a
So if you hire a private attorney, they need to be here on June 26th. That's next Thursday at 12:30, and they need to be ready to try your case. Pick a jury July 7th, and our trial date is July 9th. So I need that private lawyer here so I can make sure they understand that. And when you go and meet with them, you need to be sure to tell them. They need to be ready to try your case, which your case is nearly 3 years old. They need to be ready to pick a jury July 7th and go to trial July 9th.
Can I file for a motion of discovery for everything with the case to present to him for the...
That's up to your lawyer to do, your new lawyer, if you wish to do that.
You're right, and Your Honor, for the record, I've repeatedly met with Mr. Jeremy over the years and provided him the discovery. He apparently disagrees with that fact. I'm happy to be put under oath, but we've been very cooperative with Mr. Dixon in meeting with him and in providing information.
Okay. So, sir, I need you present. Your presence is required. June 26th at 12:30. Also, jury selection, July 7th. That would be at 8:30. And then you'll be required to show up for trial on July 9th at 8:30. I'll see you next Thursday, June 26th at 12:30, either with your current counsel or with new counsel. But those are your court dates.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let me ask one other thing. Is the state's offer going to change if Mr. Dixon were to hire a different attorney?
No, ma'am, I do not anticipate. This is one that Mr. Medina advocated for on his behalf. So
Okay.
no, it would not be improving, let's put it that way.
And just for the record, as I've stated repeatedly, I want to put on the record, he's going against my recommendation and rejecting the state's 5-year offer that would not turn him into a sex offender, that would involve probation on count 2, basically.
Yes, sir.
And he also had rejected my recommendation to counteroffer to try to improve it because of his desire to go to trial and or get a complete dismissal, which of course nobody can promise a favorable outcome if it goes to trial.
According to my notes, if Mr. Dixon were to be found guilty on both counts as charged, isn't there a prison score?
Yes, ma'am.
24.4 months?
That would be a minimum guideline, ma'am. We have a
Minimum.
maximum of 10 years.
24.45 months.
Okay.
As well as a sex offender designation,
Okay.
as well as other associated things that would affect him for the rest of his life.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, sir, I will see you next Thursday at 12:30. Thank you. All right. Let's call your next case, Mr. Medina, which is Paul Bessinger, 24 CF 2533.
If I may have just a moment of communication with him when he gets out here. Thank you. Just 30 seconds.
Okay.
Steve Medina with Paul B. Bessinger approaching and
Well, I can call another case and we could.
he's ready, Judge.
Oh, okay.
And I already met with him. I just need to give him one piece of information.
Okay. All right, and defendant is present. Okay, that's 24 CF 2533. Mr. Bessinger is present.
Your Honor, I believe the state has an announcement.
Your Honor, the state spoke with the victim in this case. She is a vital and essential witness in this case and the listed victim. She is unwilling to come to Florida to testify in this trial. So due to that, Your Honor, the state has no choice at this point but to null cross this case due to the victim's unwillingness to come testify.
All right. Sir, the state has just dropped your case. They've just dismissed it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So is this the only thing holding you in jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, then, sir, if this is the only thing that's holding you, then you should be released because this case just got dismissed.
Wonderful day. Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir. All right, let me recall Mr. Harper.
Judge, this is Brittany Chinchara, 24 CF 423.
Yes, and she's present. There she is. Okay, we passed the case for a few minutes to try to figure out when we could try the case, and the state is,
We're requesting the 8th of July.
okay. Mr. Harper, how does that work for you?
Judge, that's not a problem. Just so that I'm clear, would that mean jury selection on
The
July the
7th.
7th? Okay.
Yes.
It's PTI.
And remind me again, were all of the terms put on the record
On
for our last
docket
court
date.
date?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
offer.
The offer was provided on docket day.
That's right, and then we extended it until today. Did the terms get put on the record? I didn't make a note of it, so.
I can do that.
Okay, go ahead.
She's charged with 2 counts. 1 trafficking fentanyl, 4 grams or more. 1 charge of trafficking fentanyl, trafficking in methamphetamine, 14 grams or more. So the offer to resolve both cases would be to drop the count 1, the fentanyl, and have her plea to the trafficking of methamphetamine. The terms would be an adjudication of guilt, minimum mandatory prison sentence of 3 years, minimum fine of $50,000, and the court costs are $615.
Okay. So, ma'am, I need to place you under oath and make sure you understand, okay? If you'll just raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do. Thank you, ma'am. If you'll state your name for me, please. Thank you. You just heard Mr. Sprouse announce the state's offer. Do you understand what the offer is? Okay. And have you had enough time to talk about that offer and the case, what you could be facing, or any of the details of the case with your lawyer? Okay. Is it your decision to reject the offer and proceed to trial? Okay. Is anyone forcing you or threatening you to make you go to trial in this case? Has anybody promised you a particular outcome if you were to be convicted at trial? Okay. Mr. Harper, is there anything that you wish to put on the record or you wish for me to inquire?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Sprouse, anything you wish for me to inquire or put on the record?
No, Your Honor. The maximum, I believe, is 30 years for the F1.
Okay. And Mr. Sprouse, your witnesses are available on July 8th?
That's correct.
Okay. So, ma'am, did you understand that, is the state proceeding on count 1? I have a note that says that count 1, FDLE came back with, it was not a trafficking amount. What's the state's plan?
That's correct. The state generally amends information, like trial informations, just so that the trial goes smoothly. So that would be a POCS charge that I would file the amended information for. It's a lesser included of count 1, but I don't think it would be appropriate for us to charge the jury with that count.
Okay. So the state's planning to amend the information to change count 1, which is currently trafficking in fentanyl. That's going to be possession of a controlled substance, which is a 3rd-degree felony. Is that the plan?
That is the plan, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm not holding you to anything. I'm just trying to make sure that Ms. Chinchar understands.
In fact, that's what will happen.
Okay. And then count 2 is the trafficking in amphetamine or methamphetamine, 14 grams or more, which is a 1st-degree felony. Maximum sentence on that would be 30 years, correct? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then there's the mandatory minimum of 3 years. Is that accurate?
Yes,
that is.
Okay. So, ma'am, do you understand that if you went to trial, assuming the state amends their information on that count 1, that would bring count 1 down to a 3rd-degree felony? The maximum penalty on that would be 5 years prison. There's no minimum on the possession of a controlled substance. But as to the trafficking in amphetamine or methamphetamine, if the jury were to find you guilty, then the court would have to sentence you to 3 years in prison. I have no discretion whatsoever. Do you understand that? That would be the minimum, and the maximum would be 30 years. Do you understand that? Does anyone know what Ms. Chinchar's score would be?
She does score pursuant to these charges, but her prior record isn't, she would not score otherwise but for these charges, I'll say.
Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head, I don't recall what she scores currently, but she scores lower than the 3-year min-man that would be statutorily imposed.
Okay.
And that is my memory of my review last evening was that there is history, but it's not extensive.
Okay. So, ma'am, I will see you on Monday, July 7th at 8:30 for jury selection. And then we'll plan on trying your case on Tuesday, July 8th at 8:30. Is the state's, what's the status of the state's offer? Are you?
It's revoked.
Okay. All right.
And when would jury instructions be due to Your Honor?
Yes, I will need those. When does Mr. Harper need them?
Judge, I'm fine with sometime next week. Mr. Sprouse and I have been in communication. We just yesterday went to go see some evidence together. I anticipate we'll get this sorted out next week. And if there's an issue, we'll just bring it up to your JA.
Okay, just send them to me after y'all have looked at them together. Just send them to me at some point prior to the 4th of July, because that's a 3-day weekend. I'd like to have them to look at prior to jury selection. So,
I will do that, Your Honor.
Okay, wonderful, thank you.
And any pretrial motions, can we have a deadline for that? Could it be the
Yes.
same deadline?
Whatever.
By the end of next week, is that okay?
About
Yeah, before July 4th.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Well, if you can get them done prior to next week, or not, prior to the week of the 4th, I think that begins on June 30th. It's June 30th through the 4th. I could hear the motions that week if we need to do that.
The only motion that, if I do file it, will be a pretty much run-of-the-mill motion in limine to just follow the law and the rules of evidence. That's.
And Your Honor, I can say, I don't anticipate any objection to the boilerplate, motion limites that are typically filed.
Okay. Well, if there's any motion that gets filed that would need a hearing or would need to take more time than just a few minutes before we start picking a jury, I would have time during the week of June 30th through July 3rd. So please get it filed before then so we can try to get you in for a hearing.
Understood.
Okay. All right. Ms. Chinchar, you need to be present in court at 8:30 on July 7th to take your jury, okay? Stay in touch with Mr. Harper. All right, thank you. I'll see you then.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Next, let's recall Mr. Dyram. Is he still present? Oh, there you are. Okay.
I'm just reviewing the agreement with Mr. Kennedy.
Okay.
If I could just have a moment.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. Sure.
Your Honor, you have a case, last name is Curtis.
Yes.
There's a motion to suppress that was filed by the defense. The state has reviewed the motion to suppress. It is a well-founded motion to suppress, and based on that, we would be dismissing Ms. Curtis's case for fruit of the poisonous tree.
Okay, is Ms. Curtis present?
No, Your Honor. Mr. Sprouse let me know that he would be dismissing the case yesterday, so I
All right, and this
figured she didn't need to be here.
This is case 24 CF 2946, Brandy Curtis. We were set for a motion hearing this morning. The state has just announced a null pros, so that case is dismissed. All right, that is,
Thank you.
I'm sure that is very good news to Ms. Curtis.
Is the motion withdrawn?
Yes, the motion's withdrawn, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Or moot, I guess it's moot now.
Also filed paper yesterday. I don't know if the clerk had that.
Not yet.
All right, so the only other matters we need to take care of right now before we move on to the matter that's set for 10 o'clock is Mr. Dyram's cases.
Exactly, exactly.
They got it. I just. I believe Mr. Dyram went to go get his other client.
And I will tell you, Mr. Kennedy has signed the PTI agreement.
Oh.
So that one will be also resolved.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Once you enter, it'll be closed.
What I'm going to do, since I'm waiting on Mr. Dyram and he's outside retrieving one of his clients, I'm going to take a quick recess so that, oh, never mind, here comes Mr. Dyram now. All right, Mr. Dyram, we are ready for both of your cases. That looks like Mr. George is there with you, 24 CF 997. We've recalled the case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Mhm.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I've discussed everything with Mr. Georges, the 15-year sex offender probation. He has indicated he does not want to accept that.
Okay.
That he would like to proceed to trial.
Okay. So let me see when Ms. Basso, it looks like you are on the Dixon case that's set for July 9th.
That's correct, ma'am.
How do you wish to proceed?
And just so I'm clear, Judge, are we looking at trying it that week? I know she has that trial. I'm unavailable on July 11th. I believe that's a Friday. I don't know if the court would have a trial that day or not.
I think that's the only day we have left right now that week, 'cause I know my witness is unavailable the morning of the 10th, ma'am.
Okay, what about the 8th?
I believe Mr. Sprouse just took that date.
Well, I have multiple trials and hearings that week, so I'm going to obtain coverage. So.
Well, I can't be in two places at once on the 9th, please.
Right, so I
Not do
will.
two courtrooms.
Right, so that's why I'm wondering when you would be, and your witnesses would be available.
If August is better, as in Basso, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to my cousin's wedding in England, so I will be here as opposed to Mr. Patel.
So it would either be the 8th for us to go, ma'am, or we would have to go, I guess that you had, the alternative was that August week.
Yes. Yes, the next available week would be the week of August 25th. However, this case is.
We could set it straight to jury review, and I'll be ready to go.
Right. Ms. Basso, that's why I'm deferring to you a little bit, because I know we've just set a trial for you on July 9th.
I would be literally prepping the same witness for two trials, back to back.
I have court Monday and Tuesday.
It sounds like Mr. Dyram may not even be available the 8th then, so we may need to flip this into August. Because that would be the only date that we could go, if you were able to get additional coverage for us, we would go with the 8th, Mr. Dyram's case, and then I would go the 9th with Mr. Medina's case, which I can do that.
Okay.
But,
I have court on Monday
Yeah.
the 7th and court Tuesday the 8th, Your Honor, in Walton County and Santa Rosa County, I believe. So I would have to try to get coverage if I can.
Okay.
But that's.
Are those trials or just like a docket day type?
Hearings, yeah, just hearings in both counties.
we can go to that August date if the court wishes, as a date certain.
Maybe we will do that.
And then we'll just say we're going that week regardless, but the offer is then revoked today.
Understood,
There
Your
will be no
Honor.
more probation offer on the table. And
Okay.
Mr. Dyron, I'll file the enhanced information, get it to you early enough. It will not change the counts, it just changes the level and the exposure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Georges, your trial week will be the week of August 25th. We will pick your jury on Monday, August 25th at 8:30. And as far as which day it will go, I know Ms. Basso will need to check with her witnesses. And Mr. Dyram, do you know offhand of any conflicts you would have that week?
We will just have, I know we have Division 6 court, but someone can cover for me, and I don't know
Should
how
be
you
okay.
work with that.
My birthday is August 29th, so if
So
we
we'll
have
be
a trial
okay.
that day, we'll be okay.
All right, so we are absolutely trying this case the week of August 25th. Ms. Basso, if you find out your witnesses are not available that week, then...
I've actually just texted him to ask him whether or not he's available that week.
Well, why don't we pass the case for another
I
few
think we'll
minutes?
be fine.
Let me handle Mr. Kennedy's case. Maybe you'll get a response, because if we find out right now that the witnesses are not available on the week of August 25th, I want to come up with
Find
another
another-
plan and have a date
Understood.
certain.
No, we'll get that.
Okay.
I'll check on something else, actually.
Okay, let's call Mr. Kennedy's case. That would be 24 CF 897. And Mr. Kennedy is present?
Your Honor, may I approach? I have a PTI executed and a written plea as well.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. And I'll be handing back the PTI agreement because Mr. Kennedy, in just a minute I will, he will need to turn that into probation. All right, sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? If so, say I do.
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down if you'll state your name.
Fabian Kennedy.
Thank you. In case 24 CF 897, your original charges are 1 count of fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer in an agency vehicle with lights and sirens activated. I believe that's a 3rd-degree felony.
Correct.
It's not the enhanced 2nd degree, correct? Okay, 3rd-degree felony. The maximum penalty on that charge would be up to 5 years in prison. On count 2, the charge is resisting an officer without violence. That's a 1st-degree misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on that charge would be up to a year in jail. On count 3, leaving the scene of a crash involving property damage. That's a 2nd-degree misdemeanor. The maximum penalty on that charge would be, it says 6 months in jail. Is it 60 days or 6 months?
I believe it's 60 days.
Leaving the scene.
Is that a second-degree
And
misdemeanor?
if it's an M2, it's 60.
I believe it's an M2. All right. Then reckless driving would be count 4. That's a 1st-degree misdemeanor. That could get you up to a year in jail. That'd be the maximum. And then count 5 is driving without a valid driver's license. I believe that's an M2 as well. I believe the maximum on that would be 60 days in jail. Sir, did you have a chance to talk to your lawyer about all of those original charges and any possible defenses you might have?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Have you discussed the plea agreement with your lawyer?
Yes.
Did you read and sign the agreement?
Yes.
Is that your signature on the next to the last page?
Yes.
Did you also go over the pretrial intervention agreement with your lawyer?
Yes.
Did you read this agreement?
Yes.
Is that your signature on the last page of the pretrial intervention agreement?
Yes.
Do you understand the rights that you give up when you enter a plea?
Yes.
Do you understand you're giving up your right to have a trial and make the state prove the case?
Yes.
Are you entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you or threatening you?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's showing in the agreement?
No.
Are you satisfied with the services of your lawyer?
Yes.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, medicine, or any substance in the last 24 hours?
No.
Is there any exculpatory DNA?
No, Your Honor.
All right. right, I do find a sufficient factual basis based on my review of the arrest report. Sir, if you're not a citizen, do you understand the plea could subject you to deportation?
Yes.
It looks like you will be entering a plea to counts 2, 3, 4, and 5 as charged. Those are all either first or second degree misdemeanors, like I said in the beginning. How do you plead to counts 2, 3, 4, and 5?
No contest.
I accept your plea on those counts. I find it was freely and voluntarily entered. Does the state have an announcement on count 1?
Those are dismissed for a plea to the other counts.
Okay. So, sir, it says on here adjudication of guilt, but typically with a pretrial intervention, there would not be an adjudication
I
of
think
guilt.
it's just if he violates the PTI.
True.
That he would be adjudicated guilty on the misdemeanors.
Okay.
That's what we would be seeking.
Okay. So, should I just, well, I'll just leave it alone. So, sir, you have entered, or you're about to enter into the pretrial intervention program. This is a golden opportunity for you. If you comply with the program, the charges will be dismissed. So you would not be adjudicated guilty of any of the charges. The case will be dropped. This is a wonderful opportunity. I encourage you to take it very, very seriously and comply with all the terms and conditions of the program. If you fail to comply with the program, or if you pick up new charges, or you don't complete all the things that you're required to complete under your agreement within the time allocated, looks like this is a 10-month agreement. If you are unsuccessful for any reason, then, sir, you've already entered a plea to those misdemeanor charges. You will come straight back to me for sentencing, and you would be, at that time, adjudicated guilty of those 4 misdemeanors. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. I wish you the best. I hope you are very, very successful on your pretrial intervention program. I believe at this point you will be placed on an ROR bond, release on your own recognizance bond, pending your completion of the program. And we need to set a control date just to make sure that this pretrial intervention agreement gets filed in the court file. So once it's in the court file, we don't have to, you don't have to come to court as long as this thing turns up in the file. So I'm going to hand it back to Mr. Dyram because, sir, you'll need to take that with you.
Your Honor, before he leaves, I may need to read the verbiage on that PTI because if it's stating that there's an adjudication, that may cause.
I don't think it's on here, it's on the plea.
Okay, so if it's not on there, that's okay, but if it's on the plea,
Do I need to
then I
fix
would
it?
have to adjudicate.
Okay, let's fix the plea agreement because it does say adjudication of guilt.
Would you like to just put it hold
Or do I say, well, there hasn't
You
been
would
one
just
at
leave
all?
it, yeah, you would just leave
say-
it blank because it's not, we're not there yet.
Okay. I'm going to white it out, and I'm going to have Mr. Kennedy initial. Okay, I'm going to cross it out.
Thank you, that way there's just no confusion.
Yes.
And does he need to have a Facebook Live?
I will do that, yes, absolutely. So what I did was I scratched out adjudication, I scratched out that, and I just put discretion of the court, and it may never come to pass, I hope it doesn't. I think it's just initial, so there's no confusion. I am withdrawing the capias that I issued on Monday, the 16th. Thank you very much. All right, so I see Mr. Kennedy initialed the changes. These are your initials next to the changes I made, sir, is that right? Okay. So, yes, if you comply with the agreement, your case is going to be dismissed. There would be no need for the court to determine whether you should be adjudicated because the case would be dropped. If you come back to me for sentencing because of a failure to comply with the agreement or picking up new charges, then I'd have to make a decision at that time of whether to adjudicate you guilty of those misdemeanor counts or not. But I don't think that's ever going to happen because I think you're going to comply and then you will not be seeing the inside of this courtroom again. So let's set a control date. Why don't we set the next pretrial, just as a control date. If that agreement's in the court file, then
Understood.
it's canceled.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure, that would be August 11th. And that's at 9 o'clock. And this is simply a control date to see if the PTI agreement is filed in the court file.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Dyram. We will now recall your other case.
And I have heard back, ma'am.
Okay, great. So we're going to
Matter of fact-
recall Mr. George's case, and I believe he is present. Let me get back to that.
Ma'am, I've confirmed the availability of our witness. We would request choosing the jury on Monday, the 25th, and going to trial on the 26th, if that's acceptable to the court.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
of August, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and witnesses are available?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent.
That's good, Your Honor.
Okay, so what we're going to do is for Mr. George's, that's 24 CF 997. I am going to set either pretrial or docket day, just to
Would
make
you do
sure.
Docket day, if you don't mind.
Yeah, that'd be fine. We'll set docket day, which is, I've got that on here somewhere.
It is August 18th.
August 18th at 9 o'clock will be your next court date. That's just to make sure we're still on track, nothing's happened to the witnesses or,
Yes, ma'am.
anybody else. Here's the plan. We will pick the jury on Monday, August 25th. That'll be at 8:30. We will plan to try the case. Is this just going to be a one-day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one-day trial. That would be Tuesday, August 26th, and we would meet at 8:30 to start. So we've got 3 court dates set right now. We've got August 18th at 9 o'clock. And then that one's definite. Tentatively, I don't even know if we need to put it down. Probably not going to put these down officially yet on the court docket, but in my notes and everybody's notes, the plan is for jury selection August 25th, trial August 26th. We will reconfirm all of that when we see everybody on August 18th at docket day, just to make sure everybody's still available and that everything's going forward as planned.
Understood.
Okay.
And
Thank you, Your
Ms.,
Honor.
any motions would need to be filed, obviously, prior to that docket day as well?
Let's put a deadline on that,
Thank
because what I'd have to do is then try to squeeze in a hearing at some point, and if it's the last minute, then, I have other cases, not that Mr. Dyram would ever do such a thing, but I have other cases involving other people who, motions have been filed at the literal last minute, which
I will not do that.
I know you wouldn't do it. I mean that with all sincerity, I know that you wouldn't do it. But what I've been doing in a lot of cases is setting motion deadlines just to prevent that from
That's
happening in
fine
any
by me,
case.
Judge.
So it wasn't any of your colleagues. It
No,
was,
you're fine.
Someone who's not in the courtroom right now that has done that a few times. So when would be a good time to do that, to set a motion deadline?
I don't anticipate anything major, ma'am, so beginning of August would be fine. We'll just
About
grab a
August
date.
1st?
That's
That'd be
fine.
fine.
Okay, motion deadline,
I'll get them done this week.
August 1st. So if anybody's filing a motion, do so by August 1st and immediately contact my office so we can try to get a hearing scheduled and stay on track.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Mr. Georges, stay in touch with your lawyer, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll see you in August.
Your Honor, that concludes my business. May I be excused?
Thank you. I'll see you later today, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir. Oh, and may I be excused too, ma'am? Until the arraignment docket, I guess.
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, and Ms. Gaynor, I'm sorry, we're going to readdress one of your cases this afternoon, right? Yes, okay, that sounds good. So we're going to take about a 10-minute break because we have been sitting up here, Madam Clerk and I, for nearly 2 hours without any type of breaks. We're going to take a 10-minute break, come back and proceed. Okay?